She had tried everything: vision boards, moon rituals, affirmations 3 times a day. She wrote her intentions in gold ink, practiced gratitude journals every morning, and even memorized scripting methods from half a dozen manifestation coaches. And still nothing. The relationship didn't change. The money didn't come. Her energy felt stuck, worse than stuck. It felt hollow. Until one afternoon something happened. She was walking through the park with no plan, no intention, no mantra playing in her head, just a kind of peaceful numbness. And in that silence she looked up, and it was as if the entire field around her shifted. Suddenly the thought came not from her mind, but through her. You've been trying to manifest from the frequency of not having. It hit her like a wave. Every affirmation had carried a secret undertone of urgency. Every vision board had whispered, "You're not there yet." Every intention was born from the place of separation, not from embodiment. That was the day she stopped trying and things started showing up. What changed? This story isn't just about one person. It's about a quantum principle that most people, even those deep in spiritual practice, completely overlook. The field doesn't respond to your words. It responds to your energetic clarity. And most of us are radiating chaos, not clarity. We've been taught that manifestation is complicated, that it takes work, layers of effort, mental rehearsals, daily tracking. But what if all that noise was the exact reason your reality hasn't shifted? What if the real power lies in simplicity? There's a reason sages, mystics, and even quantum physicists point toward the same truth. The observer collapses reality not by controlling it, but by becoming still enough to align with it. But stillness is not what most people practice. Most people practice obsession. They want it so badly that their field becomes distorted. Their minds are filled with strategies, their hearts filled with doubt, and their frequency becomes foggy. And the quantum field, which mirrors back your most consistent signal, reflects that fog right back at you. This is the paradox. The harder you try to manifest something, the further it seems to slip away. Not because the universe is punishing you, but because your very effort is a declaration. I don't have it yet. And in the quantum realm, that becomes your reality. The woman in the story didn't manifest because she gave up. She manifested because in giving up the noise, she finally tuned into the signal. She stopped vibrating effort. She started vibrating space, and the universe can't resist a coherent field. So in this video, we're not going to pile on more techniques. We're going to dismantle the complexity. We're going to show you why the simplest manifestation shift is the most powerful and why almost nobody is doing it. Because simplicity requires trust, and trust is the true spiritual initiation. In the next part, we'll explore the physics behind why simplicity works. We'll break down how the quantum field actually responds to clean signals and how your attempts to do it right might be the very thing clouding the connection. If you've ever felt like you're doing all the right things, but nothing is shifting, stick around. The truth is simpler than you think, but it's not what you've been told. Why does simplicity work in the quantum field? And why do most people unconsciously resist it? Because most people don't actually want alignment. They want control, and control is the opposite of alignment. Let's go deeper. In quantum mechanics, reality doesn't pre-exist in a fixed form. It exists as probabilities, possibilities until something collapses the wave function. That something is consciousness, the observer, you. But here's what's often missed. It's not the intention alone that collapses the wave. It's the state of coherence behind it. Imagine trying to tune a radio to a specific frequency. You turn the dial, but instead of locking onto one signal, your hand keeps shifting between stations. Static, half-music interference. That's what most people are doing vibrationally, asking the universe for clarity while broadcasting confusion, wanting love while vibrating unworthiness, wanting money while fearing lack, wanting peace while overthinking outcomes. So the field responds with more static, because the quantum field doesn't speak English or affirmations or vision boards. It speaks vibration, and that vibration must be stable enough to register. This is why manifestation becomes so much simpler and more powerful when we remove the layers of trying, forcing, controlling. Because in that stillness, the signal sharpens, the emotion stabilizes, the intention becomes clean. There's a concept in quantum physics known as quantum decoherence. It refers to the loss of coherence in a quantum system when it becomes entangled with too many external variables and loses its unique unified state. Now let's apply that spiritually. Quantum system, your energy, your field, your emotional state. But when you entangle yourself with doubt, comparison, overanalysis, external validation, you decoher. You lose the energetic clarity that collapses reality in your favor. That's why the ones who manifest easily often look effortless. They're not careless. They're clear. They've stopped trying to manipulate the outcome, and instead they've become the embodiment of the outcome. They live in a state that says it's done not just in words but in vibration. This is where simplicity becomes your superpower. When you remove the mental clutter and emotional chaos, you give the field a clear template to reflect. You become a clean receiver, a strong transmitter, and manifestation stops being a mystery. It becomes a mirror. But here's where it gets even more interesting. When you simplify your inner world, your outer world accelerates because there's less resistance in the field, less drag, fewer competing signals. This isn't a theory, it's physics. David Bohm, a pioneer in quantum theory, described the universe not as separate parts, but as a unified, implicate order, a field of infinite information folded within itself. Your thoughts, feelings, and frequencies unfold into this field and reflect back your reality. So the question becomes, what are you unfolding into the field? Complication or coherence, noise or neutrality, effort or energetic clarity? Most people have been trained to believe that success, healing, love all require work, hard work, proof, struggle, sacrifice. This programming is so deep that when someone tells you it can be simple, your mind resists it. Why? Because simplicity threatens the ego's identity. If manifestation is simple, then maybe I've been overcomplicating things because deep down I don't feel worthy of ease, or because I still believe that value comes through struggle. This is where spirituality and quantum science meet. Simplicity is not a shortcut. It's a return to your natural frequency, and when you return to that state, uncluttered, unattached, unbothered, the universe doesn't need to be convinced. It just aligns. In the next part, we're going to reveal the most common energetic pattern that keeps people looping in complexity and how to break it. You'll see why wanting is often the very thing that blocks the having, because the field doesn't give you what you crave, it gives you what you are. And the more simply you embody that truth, the faster everything aligns. Stay with me, the shift happens not when you force it, but when you allow it. Let's talk about the trap most people fall into, the one that quietly sabotages their manifestations even when they think they're doing everything right. It's the energy of wanting. Wanting seems innocent. It sounds like desire. It feels like passion. But in the quantum field, there is a profound difference between desire and wanting. Desire arises from expansion. Wanting arises from lack. Desire says this would be beautiful to experience. Wanting says I need this or I'm not okay. And the quantum field always reflects your dominant frequency, not your words, not your scripts, not your hopes, your frequency. When you operate from a state of wanting, even with the best of intentions, your energy broadcasts a consistent message. It's not here, I don't have it, I'm still waiting. And the field responds with congruence. Correct. It's not here, let's take a closer look. In quantum terms, your consciousness interacts with the field through what physicists call superposition. All possible states existing simultaneously. Every version of your life, wealthy, healed, in love, empowered, already exists as a possibility in the quantum realm. But you don't pull them toward you. You don't chase them. You tune into them. You collapse their probability into your physical experience through vibrational alignment. And that alignment isn't achieved by force. It's achieved by identity. When you're in a state of wanting, you're identifying as someone who lacks. But when you shift into being the version of you who already knows, who already feels, who already is, you collapse that timeline effortlessly. This is why spiritual teachers and quantum mystics alike emphasize one simple but often misunderstood concept. You don't attract what you want, you attract what you are. But here's the twist that most teachings skip. You can't fake this shift. You can't mentally say, I already have it. While emotionally vibrating need, urgency, frustration. The field isn't fooled by your words, it reads your coherence. That's why simplicity isn't just easier, it's more powerful. Because when you release the emotional charge of wanting, you become available to receive. Think about the people you've seen manifest things effortlessly. They weren't trying. They weren't obsessing. They weren't tracking the signs every hour. They were being, living, trusting. They had let go of the energetic tension of wanting, and in